Hello, how are you all? Hey IG, hey Facebook, hey YouTube. Super excited to come and talk to you about how business gets to be easy, okay? Like it does not have to be hard. One of the things that my client Cami actually said, and we're going to be talking about today, is that it does not have to be hard. And that was one of the mindset shifts, eye openers for her after she joined the Sell 24K Offers program. And listen, I love it. I'm super excited for her. I want you to get to know her and what she does. People on these online streets, they be out here just, saying stuff. So I want to show you, and I want you to get to know some of my clients. And so we've actually done 2 clients already doing Cami today. We have a client that we're actually doing tomorrow. So I'm just super excited. But you have to get to know Cami. If in the age of AI, right? Like you need a Cami in your business and in your life. So let's get started. Cami, if you could actually introduce yourself to the people, let everybody know. I know you have the AI auntie next to your name, but tell the people what do you do? Tell them about
Thank
yourself
you.
and what you do.
Thank you, Arlena, and thank you for inviting me on. I am more than honored to be here and to share with everyone. So, I am Cami, the AI auntie, and like you said, in this age of AI today, right, we all need to either make ourselves aware or know someone who's very aware in that space. And so, I come from an ed tech background, so in technology. And when AI came out, I was so excited because of all of the opportunities and ways to navigate it. And so what I do is that I am basically a digital asset engineer. That means that I take AI and I utilize it in ways that are going to save me time, save me money, but mostly and most importantly, what I do for people is I show them who they are before they become that. And the way that I do that is through AI powered digital photography. And the beautiful thing about it is that so many people need to see something before it can happen, right? Like we've all had vision board parties and things of that nature. So when I met you, that's exactly what I was doing. I was creating virtual photo shoots for people, mostly women. And it really helped to boost their confidence and move them in a direction to gain more momentum. And that's the other thing, right? So money moves with momentum, and we can talk about that a little later. But that's what I do. That's what I started doing when I came to you. However, being in the program, we have unearthed a whole new stream of income and a way to navigate this AI landscape, and I'm so excited about it because it's so great. So we can talk about that later too.
That is so good. And I'm seeing all these posts right now on social media like, oh my goodness, like I just saw this chat GPT. I can do an image with chat GPT now. And what's so wow is that I'm looking at the images and they look so bad. They are so bad, like all over social media. But all the images that I've actually seen you do, like they're so professional. Like it's even hard for me to tell that this is even AI. So there is some, I know like this is also like, it's your background, it's also what you're doing. So you have like experience in it. So you're also like, you're actually helping people to present AI images and all the things in a way that looks original, which I just feel like is, I don't know, it's like it's hard for people to try to do it. Like people be out here trying, they try on these social media streets.
They do. They do.
But if they're ready for like an expert or someone who has a background, the skills in it, that's where you come in. So I love that about you and what you're actually doing. What you're actually doing for people. So that's actually awesome. So I want to talk to you or get into can you tell us like who do you help? Like, who do you work with specifically? Do you have like a specific like target audience? I know, like, you know, sometimes, you know, I be like out here in these streets of my social media agency, like, we a law firm agency, but let somebody come and they a doctor. Like, I work with them. But for when it comes to like your audience and who you like, who you're working with, do you have someone that you work with, or an audience that you more like working with? Not more like working with, but a target audience.
Yeah, I do. I do have a specific industry that I work with. And actually, it was through the program that we figured this out, right? So, it's hard when you're throwing a wide net out there, right? You get everybody, but you really do want to narrow that down. And so who I serve are med spa owners and SDs, and they know who they are, right? So, and the reason I serve them is because it is something that I patron a lot, and knowing the background of what they do, what their pain sources are, and knowing that this type of service can really serve them and help them move the needle forward, I just feel like I want to do that for our community, right? For our people, especially for Black and Brown owned med spas and estheticians. I feel like it's needed, right? We see a lot of other people, right, who are out there who are doing the thing, who are utilizing AI to their advantage.
Yes.
But I feel like there's really nobody in the space serving this particular demographic with the AI the way that I do. And so I feel like it's really important.
I love that. So if you know someone who actually owns their own med spa, if there's you have a favorite med spa that you actually go to, you're watching us in the chat, let us know. Comment your favorite med spa owner. Shout them out in the chat, okay? Especially if they're not utilizing, AI to be able to attract more clients and all the things to their business. And so the next question I wanted to ask you is that when you joined, so you joined the Sell 24K Offers program, what was going on with you that made you want to join?
So I had been utilizing some methodologies before I found the challenge. The thing about it is, though, so can I be really real for a second? Can I talk to the people for a second?
Yes.
So many of you might be like me where I was. And so this is where I was before I joined the program. So I saw the challenge, right? I came into the challenge. The information was phenomenal. I got so much from the information that you shared in the challenge alone. And then you made the offer to join the program. And so I said to you, Arlena, this is amazing. I really love what you're doing. I feel like I want to join this program. But I told you I had just joined another program, right? So I had just made an investment somewhere else.
I forgot about that.
Right? So we talked about it for a little bit. But you know how you're watching something, you're either on a webinar or an info session or a masterclass, and you feel the tug, right? You feel that pull, like I feel like this is really for me. I feel like this information was so good that if I had more, I know that it would move the needle for me. And that's how I felt. And so, I was just like, man, like, can I do this? Can I do both? Right? Can I make this investment over here and then make this? You know how you have buyer's remorse sometimes? People who purchase their homes and then they realize, oh, that was such a big investment. Right?
Yeah.
That was me. But we worked through that. I worked through that with your help. We worked through that. And I have to tell you, in all honesty, when you feel something like that, when you feel that tug, right? And listen, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe that God moves us in the direction we need to be in. I believe that He puts people before us that we need to be in close proximity to. And that's what I was feeling. And I was just like, well, listen, I have to do this. Like, I shouldn't even be questioning it. This needs to happen.
That is so good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that because I didn't. I think I remember. Like I know we talked before, but I didn't. I don't think I remembered that it was because you had joined another program. So that's awesome. Um, and so, were you nervous about the investment? Were you nervous about the
So
investment?
I was nervous about the investment because of that very reason. Um, and then too, right? If I think back about it, and some of you may have experienced this as well, when you think back on it, you may have invested in other programs before, right? You may have joined a online business group or whatever have you, and you may be thinking, well, I really didn't get the full benefit of that program or the full benefit of that business coaching, right?
Mhm.
And so then you may be wondering, is it going to be the same? Am I just going to get the same thing? Am I going to be a number sitting in a bunch of, group coaching calls, that type of thing?
Yeah.
And those are real thoughts that people, that people have when you're trying to make that
Mhm.
type of decision.
Yeah.
So I was a little nervous around making the investment for sure.
That's good. Thanks for sharing that. I think a lot of people, and even myself, like, oh my goodness, I can't. I remember when I made my first investment, and I was like, oh my goodness,
Right.
like, what did I do? My husband was like, what did you do? What is happening here? Like,
Right.
did you get scammed like on these online streets? So I love that you did share that you were nervous before you joined, and then you joined. And for you, like, what would you say was like your biggest, like, your biggest, not like your biggest takeaway from the program because we still got like a lot of program left.
Yes.
But what I want to ask you is, what has changed like in your business like since joining or in your life, like what has changed for you?
So, a couple of things, right? So,
Mhm.
number one, in life, I have more free time now. Like, I've set
Mhm.
up my business in such a way that I know what I'm doing, I know what needs to be addressed, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But that has afforded me more freedom in my life, right? So now the hubby's not like, you got to be on that computer all night long, right? Working on the biz, right? I'm no longer doing that because I have found the space and the freedom to mitigate that. And so, what being in the program has done for me is that now I understand the way forward, right? I have systems in place and I have a way to navigate what I need to do. You are very clear with us about checking our numbers and our KPIs. These are like things that if you want to go into business, but you don't have a business background, right? Because I come from tech, right? And
Mhm.
even though I'm self employed, it's different than running a business. So just having those systems and those things in the background that that you don't know you need to have, right? But that you get an understanding of. And so I appreciate the way that you break that down for us and you explain it to us because it makes everything so much easier.
Aw.
And you navigate in such a way that you feel confident and self assured in what you're doing. And I
Mhm.
think that has made the biggest difference.
Oh, I love that so much. I
Yeah.
love the husband thing. Oh my goodness. Like I remember like working so much like at night. And
Right.
like I'm talking about to 3 o'clock in the morning, just
Wow.
crazy stuff. And my husband would be like, oh my goodness, like, can you get like this business is like an issue for me. Um,
Right.
so I love that you're like, your husband, like you get to, you know,
Or even the children, right? Because when I started years ago, right, it was the children. Like you take time away from those that you love because you're trying to set up something that's going to be able to benefit the family at large, but you don't realize what you're taking away while you're trying to do that.
That's
And it
good.
helps so much to have someone who can help you navigate that and put the systems in process. It's basically like building a firm foundation, right? Like
Mhm.
you need that foundation so that you can move forward effectively.
That's really good. I love that. And
Yeah.
that's like that's my anthem song, that Firm Foundation.
Very good.
Yeah, I love, like, we need to have our firm foundation. So that's really good. The next question I want to ask you: how quickly did you start seeing results? People love the ROI, right? Like, when am
Yes.
I getting the ROI? But when did you start seeing results? And can you share a specific win with us that you have experienced?
Yes, I can. So, hey, everybody. I see everybody saying hey. Um,
Hello, everyone.
I started seeing results right away, Erlina, immediately, right? Um, However, I was struggling with being consistent. So my results
Mm-hmm.
weren't consistent beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But after joining, the results became consistent. So,
Mm-hmm.
right. So I think I made my investment back like in the first 4 or 5 weeks, like the first month or so,
Okay.
like immediately, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, that is
I don't
amazing.
know about everybody else, but who's been in a program where you can say, I made my investment back in the first 4 weeks, right?
Yay!
So, that was a positive. Um and if you just follow the steps, if we implement what you're telling us to do,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes easy. It becomes so, I think I was making it so hard for myself. We think
Mm.
like, I got to have this lead magnet and I got to have this funnel and I got to have all the things in place. And you know what I mean? Like we're all,
Yeah.
because somebody told us that, right? That's what somebody
Mm-hmm.
told us out there that we needed to do. But I want to encourage everybody to know, like, you don't have to. If that's not your mode of operation, then you don't have to lean into that. Lean into what works for you.
Yeah, that is so good. I love that you said that, because one of the things that, like, I never like do in business or try to do, and I feel like a lot of marketers or people who are marketing their services, what they do is they basically will tell you that, oh, well, your business is broken because you don't have a funnel, or you ain't getting clients because you don't have a website, or, if you don't have this, launch plan, and that's this thick long, and you need this book
Right.
to launch, and and you got to have this part and that part and that part and that part, then you can't make money in your business. And those things are so wrong. Like, we saw Clark, who's in the comments, like we saw with her, didn't have a website, didn't even have this long sales page. But people who do the things, people who create sales pages or funnels, or who run ads and all the things, will tell you that you need those things to be able to win in your
Right.
business. And it's just like, can we not, like, I do
Right.
social media and stuff like that, but I would never tell a business that, oh, well, you can't be successful if you're not on social, because I have 7-figure clients who we started their social media pages. So I know that you don't need a social media, but I just wish that people would, you know, not
Yeah.
use their service, like, find another way to sell, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
position it different, because, like you said, like, all that stuff is not needed. So that's really good. I love that you said that. Um, and so the next question I wanted to ask you is how does it feel to be focused? How does it feel to be focused on selling $24,000 offers compared to what you were doing before? We did a training recently, a couple of trainings. We did one on Saturday, we did one on Tuesday, where you were able to, like, map out, like, your plan, like your specific plan to be able to hit your revenue goals for the year. And it was just so many light bulbs that went off for you. But how does it feel to be focused on selling $24,000 plus offers instead of what you were doing before?
So yeah, that's such a great question, Erlina. And I think there's a couple of things that go along with that, right?
Mhm.
So first is the mindset. I think
Mm.
I think a lot of us, we hear 24K offers and we're like, oh, I would love to do that, right?
Yeah.
And then we get into it and we're like, can I charge 24K really? Like then you start like questioning yourself. But I think that is such an important lesson for all of us to learn how to value what it is that we do. Like,
That's
like
good.
I'm really good at what I do, and I know that, right? Like
Mhm.
I really am, and you're really good at what you do too out there, right?
Yeah.
You are the expert. You know what you know, and you know it very well. So why not go ahead and have someone invest the value of what you can offer. And I
Yes.
think that was like a light bulb for me. It was just like 24K, really? You know, but here's the thing. In the program, we have been able, like you said, we had trainings, and we were able to map out what that looks like and what that offering would be for somebody. And I have to tell you, I'm in love with my services, because really it's kind of like a full life cycle implementation for people.
Mm.
Um, and I think it's just going to be such a helpful thing to take such a load off of owners and what they do in their day to day. And I
Mhm.
think that's the most important part,
Tell
right?
us more about that. Tell us more about what you're doing with.
Right. So, yeah, so as their digital asset engineer, what I'm doing is I'm engineering not only, right, their visual assets, which just basically means, right, their visuals for their social media and for their brand, but
Mhm.
in such a way that is so like very natural and calling out the before and the after, right? Like the before identity and the after identity, right? This is the premise of their whole business,
Yeah.
right? People come in, they come in because they want a service to boost their confidence, to make
Mhm.
them feel better, to look good, right? And the visual assets go along with that. And so not only do we offer them the visual assets, but we help them in the background as well, right?
Mhm.
With their content strategy, with their reach on the socials. And so AI is powering all of that in the background, and then it becomes so effortless and so easy. And so that's the kind of service that I'm offering to the owners.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, and I kind of cut you off for you to go into
No, no,
detail.
it's okay.
Sorry, I apologize because we were talking about like your $24,000 offers, and essentially like how like now the mindset shift is like it just doesn't have to be hard like for you in business. So tell us a little bit more about like that mindset shift that you have.
Yeah, that's such a good, you know, we have all seen people online offering different things. We've been in other master classes and other programs where they say this is the price, and you think, oh my goodness, like can I do that? Can I? Let me tell you something. There are people who value the price of something, and when they value the price of something, they're more invested, right? Which
Yes.
means now they're going to show up and do the work. They're going to follow the schematic that you have for them, right? They're going to implement the things that they need to implement, and you
Hmm.
won't have to be pulling teeth. So these are the kind of clients that 24K offers call in. And
Yes.
that's what makes it not so hard, because then you only need four of them, right?
Mhm.
Or however many you need to meet your goal. And that's how it becomes effortless.
I love that. I love that because it's so good because I remember at one point for me, like prior to, it was like I had 30 clients in a month. And I think that 30 clients I had in a month, that was $3,000 for me because my packages were $100 a person. And so it's such a big difference because now like three clients for me is like $90,000, right? So
Right.
are done for you services, and so it's so powerful. And I love what you said. Like it changes your whole perspective about is this if this hard or if this easy just because of
Right.
exactly what you said. So that's really good. People who are on the fence, there's some people like today we're raising the price, right? Super
Mhm,
excited. Tomorrow we're raising the price for the
mhm.
services. There's some people who are watching this and they're on the fence. They're like, I don't know if I want to join. I don't know if it's a good fit for me. What would you say to those people who are watching and they're on the fence about joining?
Yeah. So, two things. One, if you feel called to do it, then you need to do it, right? Don't question it. You just need to step out there and do it. Two, if the concern is, can I join this program? Can I make my investment back? Um, is it a good fit for me? Yes, yes, and yes to all the questions, right? Um, I think that Arlena has had a number of people on, right? Shout out to all those in the program, right? Supporting each other's lives. We have all made our investment back, right? So that's not an issue. That's not a question. But I understand the thought process behind it, right? Because maybe you've invested somewhere before. Maybe you didn't see your return on that investment. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is a different type of program.
Yeah.
So what do I mean by that? So let me just, can I expound on that a little bit? A little bit. So we have all, you know, if you're in this field and you're trying to run your business online, then you probably have come across many different service providers or business coaches. Let me just say that this program is very different from any other program you may have researched, heard about, or sat in a live challenge for. Okay. And the reason being is for a few reasons. One, you know, Arlena is Christian, and I think she is moved by what God tells her to do, which makes a big difference. Two, she is really invested in her clients and she wants to see you win. And I think that coaches who are invested in the people that they serve win bigger, right? Because you know, like if you win, I win. If you win because of what I have poured into you, then that's a win for me because that means that my services and my program have made impact and transformation in your life. And you are so patient with us, right? Like when we have our trainings and there is something that, you know, we don't understand, it may not have been in our awareness. You know, you're very patient to break it down for us and to help us kind of digest it, you know, in digestible pieces, right?
Yeah.
I teach tech, right? I teach adult learners, right? And we all learn differently, right?
Yeah.
Some of us are visual, some of us are auditory, some of us have to hear it and see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you do very well in that space in terms of teaching and implementing for us in the background what we need to do moving forward. And I think that makes a big difference. I think that makes a huge difference.
That's so good. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So you made your investment back in 4 weeks. In the first 4 weeks of the program, you're able to just that mindset shift because now you're actually able to have less clients
Right.
and hit your revenue goals. And so that's a game changer for you. And I love what it is that you do. So last thing I want to do is I want to ask you to share people who are wanting your service, they're wanting to work with you. How can they actually get in touch with you? And also, I'm going to ask, like at the end, if you can go into the comments, even here or even later, and just share your information so people can get in contact. But how do people get in contact with you?
I certainly will do that. You can find me on Instagram at Visual Vibes Cami, and we'll put it in the comment section for you. Or you can reach out to me and you can have an audit done and we can talk about your visibility strategy. And that would be via a chat with me. And so bit.ly chat with Cami is the quickest and easiest way to make that happen. But we'll provide the link for that as well. And so I would love to speak with you if that's something that's been on your mind and you're trying to implement.
Awesome. That is so good. That is so good. So if you need a visual audit for your socials, all that you have going on, definitely we're going to have the link inside of the chat later on. I'm sure if you can jump into her DMs. If you're watching on YouTube, come over to Facebook or IG with the DMs, and we'll make sure that we actually get it. That you actually can see the links and things. I know if you're on YouTube, there's no DMs, but come over to Facebook and Instagram where the live is there as well. And feel free to click on the link or actually shoot her a DM so that you all can connect. Thank you so much, Cami. And let me just Share. Thank you so much for joining me live, for
Thank
being a
you.
client. Like we have so much program left, but I'm super excited that you're in the program, because one of the things that I will say of all the ladies in the program is you all share so much value with each other. And and you are a strong person who actually comes in, shares value, and celebrates other people.
Can I
And
speak to that before you go?
sure, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I really want to speak to that because this is really good, right? So one of the things that I experienced before in a program was was the actually the person who was running the program kind of ran with what I was doing, even using verbiage and things like that, and that makes some people really squeamish about sharing inside
Mhm.
of programs,
Yeah.
right? Um, that doesn't happen here, right? So inside of the program, what you'll find is a lot of support, like you said. All
Mhm.
of the people who are in the program, we're very supportive of each other and what everyone has going on. We like to go and support when you're on live, when you're doing your videos. If you're posting something on your socials, we're there in the comments and supporting each other. And even as far as maybe building collaborations with others as well.
Mhm.
And I think that that's such a beautiful culture that you have set up, Erlina, for us to feel um, so open and free about being able to do that for and with each other.
Yeah,
So it's one of the things that I love about the group.
I love that. And another thing that you didn't say, but you have done, and other people in the group have done, is that you also invest with each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yep.
you came into the program, and other people in the program as well, and you see like, oh wow, this person has amazing services, and you all are investing with each other, supporting each other, like cheerleading each other. We in there like singing, in my bad voice, happy birthday with each other.
Yes.
So it's such, it's been awesome. And you and the other people who are in the program, Shanine, who said is so true.
Yes.
That's how it has been. And so that's so amazing. So thank you for being that, for showing up that way, supporting other people who are in the program. And so lastly, we're going to make sure that Kimmy actually puts all her information inside of the chat. But if you're watching us live and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a community, I want to be a part of a program where I can focus. First of all, I can get my investment back in the first month, right? Like who wouldn't want their investment back in the first month, right? So definitely
Yes.
join us today. Inside the program, you can go to sell24koffers.com. I'll actually put that link in the chat if it's not in there already. But definitely join us inside of the program, so you can be able to connect with Cami and the others more, so you can actually have that experience of being inside of a program where you're supported, where you are actually celebrated, and all the different things. So join today at sell24koffers.com. If you actually use Klarna, we have PayPal later, all the things. It's as low as $254.45 today. If you use one of those other different things, if you don't use those, it's just $5,000 for the program, and the program is more than doubling tomorrow. So definitely join us inside the program today. But thank you again so much, Cami, for joining us. It was so great to have you on live.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I love having you in the program. So thank you so much for trusting me with your business and all the things that you have going on this year. But we're going to end this out. Bye, everyone. We'll see you all on the social media streets. Bye for now.